ku yoddu sa xët te quality Jasna ñoo yor seen cumbukaay tur day uyu borom Jasna piir soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality Jasna your number one stop shop ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte quality Jasna amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality Jasna amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality Jasna ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi make-up artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay make-up product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofa sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality Jasna si 250 01 24 ak quality Jasna taaral sa bopp taaral sa néeg waaye it dëggal sa alaaji aas.
Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure update this August Assembly on the construction of the road from Karantaba, Reneri up to Futi. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Roadworks are currently ongoing at Karantaba Reneru. The contractors have cleared the site and civil works on the site are nearly 50% completed.
That these two projects, that of Karantaba and Yona, are they going simultaneously?
Yes, works started first on the Karantaba Reneru stretch, and they have done the final course now. What is left is to do the sealing, and then after completing that stretch, then they went to the Nyanija stretch, the Nyanija loop, and then from there they are now on the final stretch, which is the Yona, Bani to Kunti. So that is the last stretch of roads in this particular lot.
With the coming of the rains, hope you will meet your targets.
Yes, the contractor is well ahead of time, and we are hopeful that this particular contractor will commence sealing immediately after the rainy season, which means that he may be well ahead of time by at least 6 months.
Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader.
Again, Honorable Minister, this one as well, I'm interested to know the duration of the contract and the contractor.
Honorable Speaker, is part of the same contract works for the CRR North for Lot 2, and the duration is 2 years, 6 months. So we are hopeful that the contractor will finish well ahead of time. The contractor is Cornerstone. The same contractor, yes.
Member for Nyanija.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and to your minister. We are grateful. And you just made mention of Lot 2, CRR North covering 54 kilometers.
Yes.
Basically, we want to know where is this covering?
We have the Njao Loop, which is in the Nyanija constituency. That is, laterite works are completed now on that. It's left with a bridge that the contractor has submitted suggestions to the NRA for approval before they can do the bridge. But the road actually is now done with laterite. Then we have the Reneru to Karantaba, which is about 21 or 22 kilometers. That one also, laterite works are completed there. And then he's now on the last stretch, which is Yona, Kunting, Bani, which is about 13 kilometers. They have started doing the laterite of the base course there, and hopefully by end of the rainy season, the final laterite course will be ready, and then for priming and then, sealing. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Member Simon.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you've made mention in your response about the Karantaba-Ranelu route. As questioned by the petitioner, that FITU rather, I ask, is FITU still part of the project? Yes.
Fitufula is the very end because the road starts from Reneru, then if you are coming from CRR North going towards Janjambure on the CRR North Road, then it starts from Reneru, going all the way to Demfai, then to Fitifula, and then to Karantaba on the highway. So Fitifula is part of it.
Question number 188 of 2024 by the member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, understanding that the raining season is already here. According to the question, I said it's just around the corner because this question was sent 2 months ago. But now it is already here. Could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure tell this August Assembly the Ministry's plan to complete the reconstruction of the main ring canal for the smooth flow of water in the city of Banjul?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The contractor has completed the surveys, designs, and costings for the concrete lining of the ring canal, which forms part of the approved variation order 2. The project has experienced some delays in completing the additional scope, including the ring canal, due to challenges in supply of basic materials such as basalt and the timely settlement of invoices. It is important to note that the remaining works were scheduled to be completed by end of June. However, the ministry is in discussion with the team to finalize the new extension of time to complete all the remaining works.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Currently, we have seen the unclutching of the main ring canal, which has been happening for the past years. And I believe that is not a permanent solution to our problem. What is the ministry willing to do in terms of making sure that a permanent solution is put in place so that as city dwellers, we can at least do away from what we have experienced 2 years ago, that is the flash flood?
Thank you, Honorable Member. 2 things basically. One is to, of course, continue the clearing of the canal, of the weeds and other undesirable elements in the canal. That is extremely very important because it will allow the flow of water from end to end. But also, the contractor, as I have said, has already completed the designs, and then it will be concrete. That is going to be the ultimate solution, so that once concrete works have finalized and then the entire place is covered, nobody will be able to, throw waste, into the canal.
How soon do you intend to embark in this important
we are hopeful that that will be done before the end of July, because not necessarily the concrete, I mean the finalization of the studies and all the costings to accept the variation and to sign the extension. So we are hopeful that works can start either in August or September.
The member for Central Parliament. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, was the construction of the ring canal not part of the Banjul project?
It was not part of the first phase of the project, but following the completion of all the drainage works in the main town, it was considered prudent that the ring canal also, especially the one behind the Gambia, between the Gambia High School and St. Augustine, be completely covered because of the perennial problems of clogging and also waste dumping into the canal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you've explained about the work that you may be putting in place, and of course, prior to the work effectively starting. But then, Honorable Speaker, you said the work, haven't heard from you that you said the work will start in July, hopefully in July, September. So what are you actually putting in place, at least to prevent the occurrence of the problem that had happened the last time, about 2 years ago, as alluded by the questionnaire? Thank you.
The ministry is doing in collaboration with the Banjul City Council and the National Disaster Management Agency is to constantly clear the drains and clean it properly.
Sabasanja, waste dumping is very serious, Honorable Speaker. A city like Banjul, you said because of waste dumping, you felt that there was the need to unclog and also act as a temporal solution for the flood. What other measures have you put in place to make sure that you prevent people? Because this is our city. How can we allow the city people to be dumping, in that place? That is very serious. What policy have you put in place, or what mechanism to make sure that you prevent waste dumping in that place?
Well, there is a multi-stakeholder approach to this. The Banjul City Council works directly with the central government and also the National Disaster Management Agency. The ministry, as part of the Banjul project, also is supposed to provide waste materials, the waste collection materials for the city of Banjul. And this is going to be the third phase of the project.
Now I invite the member for Kiang West. Honorable Minister, can you tell us about the phases of this project, where the phase 1 stops and the phase 2 starts, and the duration? Which project?
The road in question. The rehabilitation in question. We're talking about the topic.
No. The question is talking about one project. He said, of these projects. Which projects?
Honorable Speaker, the Banjul project. Aren't we talking about the Banjul project?
He's talking about the ring canal.
From his response, he said that canal was not part of the first phase, but instead the second phase. So I want to know where the first phase stops and second phase starts.
No, that answer was in a response to supplementary question.
Yes, but is his response?
In his answer and that of the question, they did not talk about projects in Banjul, only ring canal.
That's what we're talking about. That is a project, Honorable Speaker.
No.
What do you mean?
No.
This is Banjul Rehabilitation Project, Honorable Speaker. What do you mean?
No. Question number 189 of 2024 by the member for Banjul North.
Honorable Speaker, to be honest, you should have allowed me to observe, but notwithstanding, let me just go ahead with my question. Yeah, because this is of importance to the people of Banjul. We are the ones who suffered the flash flood. So it's important to ask the minister that question and also for him to answer the right answers.
Okay, Honorable, thank you. Okay, yeah, Honorable, yes, you are right. And that is why when you ask your questions, you had 2 supplementary questions and you wanted to beat the system. Thank you very much. Continue.
Not to be honest, the standard orders needs to be looked at. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure update this August Assembly on the rationale behind the breakdown of all the 3 Banjul Bara ferries at the same time?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, please be informed that the Johe Ferry was decommissioned in February 2023 after a series of breakdowns at sea. The Kanilai Ferry was stranded at sea in March 2024 when it was planned for deployment to provide minimal service, while Kunta Kinte Ferry was withdrawn for dry docking at the Banjul shipyard for hull works, replating, painting, installation of new engines and propulsion systems. As a result of this, Honorable Speaker, ferry service was disrupted for almost 6 weeks, during which time the Kunta Kinte Ferry was being rehabilitated from 23rd March until 5th May 2024, when service resumed after the successful completion of the Kunta Kinte repairs and redeployment. Okay.
Then you have 6. Oh, yeah. Member for Upper Fuller West.
Some MOU with the Diamond Shipyard for continuous support to the Gambia Ferry Services in terms of capacity building, but also supply of the necessary equipment to ensure that the ferries operate without hindrance.
Now the floor is to the member for Sabastanjal.
Thank you. My question has been asked. Thank you.
Member for Fonyi Councillor.
The same. The question has been asked.
Member for Lower Badibu.
Same. My question has been asked by Upper Flood East. West, sorry.
Honorable Speaker, the construction of the OIC roads in Kanifing municipality and some parts of the West Coast have put some businesses and compound owners in a deplorable condition. Could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly as to what measures are in place to compensate those affected and what caused the delay in construction of the roads?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Working within the urban settlement comes with a lot of relocation of services and demolitions. Currently, all the demolition works are completed and few roads require services to be relocated. All the affected properties have been evaluated and some affected property owners have since received their compensation.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Some property owners have received compensation. Why not the rest?
Thank you. The compensation in most cases is subject to availability of funds and allocation of funds from the Ministry of Finance. And once we receive the funds, we also, pay out to the affected property owners. So some of these people actually, it is as a result of the funds that are being awaited, but also for some of them, because most of these compounds, the problem that we have is that the real owners whose names are on the title deeds are dead. And family members are expected to agree among themselves and choose either one person or they open a joint account and then, come to the ministry with that sealed deed, which will be submitted to the Ministry of Finance for onward payment to their respective accounts by the central bank. So unfortunately, there are some existing feuds among some of these family members as to who should be the right person to lead the process. Now, what we are doing with that is we are involving the Ministry of Justice, the Curator's Office, to help resolve those matters. We have quite a few of them, actually. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And again, the construction of the OIC road was expected to be completed before the summit. And now that the roads are ongoing, how soon are we expected to finalize the commission the roads?
Well, thank you so much. Most of the roads that were not completed already, they are in their advanced stages. Thankfully, we have had a discussion with the Saudi fund that is funding and financing these roads, and they have agreed to extend the ongoing works to May of 2025, although we are hopeful that most of these roads will be completed well before then.
Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Could the Honorable Minister tell us how long will the families who are yet to be compensated to wait until to receive their compensations?
Well, it's always difficult to put a timeline to this because if you can put your mic, yeah. The problem for us sometimes is beyond the ministry. We have to depend on the goodwill of the Ministry of Finance to allocate the funds. However, I'm happy to say that the properties that are affected in Talinding in the tune of $32 million is already been provided. We had a meeting with the committee that leads the Talinding property owners yesterday in my office, and we have cross-checked all their paperwork, and hopefully either Friday or Monday they will receive their payments by the central bank.
Member for Kiang West.
Honorable Minister, the OIC roads in West Coast region, particularly in Willinkama area and Bruford area where you are not very far, the construction is very much delayed. The foundation stone of this road was laid in 2021 prior to presidential elections. And the work is very much delayed, and the work that has started, the canals are very small, and it's causing a lot of flood even during the past rain. Do you know about this situation?
Point of order.
What are you doing about it?
Point of order.
There is a point of order by the member of Sabasanya.
Thank you very much. I'm rising on order 43.4. A supplementary question shall not be in order if it introduces matters not included in the order. The question
of the floods are entirely related to the size of the drainage alone. I mean, there are a lot of other factors. However, what I can assure the honorable member is that work is in progress. In some of the areas, the drainages were not connected to the main system. So they have corrected those ones in Bruford and that Willinkama stretch. Some of the problems I have to say is that the settlements on either side of the road, especially leading to Sirifkunda, are directly on the waterway. So what we had resorted to was to build an outfall channel in one of those gardens there to allow water to flow into the stream. So now I don't think we have those problems now. Thank you.
Thank you. Now the member.
Speaker, I have two questions. I don't know how to consolidate them, but I'll go with one. Honorable Minister, if I understand the parent question, he's talking about those properties or business owners who, as a result of construction of these roads, they are put into a deplorable condition. That is their inconvenience. In your answer, do you mean such inconvenience was quantified and compensated, or only the people whose houses were affected on the road corridor?
Well, Honorable Speaker, as an engineer yourself, you know that road construction works sometimes come with inconvenience. I mean, if your business is on the other side of the road and we have constructed the road and people are not able to access as part of the conveniences, that should not be a problem of the road contractor or the government. This comes as part of a process of providing the facilities and infrastructure. Secondly, I mean, I have not had or seen anybody on the 50 kilometers of OIC roads complaining that their businesses are inaccessible because of the roads. In fact, if there is anything to say, access has been enhanced, and most of these businesses have quicker access to the markets, and people have better access to their businesses.
Thank you. Nominated member Fatu Kejawa.
Honorable Speaker, my concern has been addressed.
Thank you very much, nominated member. The member for Sanementrang.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, looking at the dimension of the road within Burfoot, it's been realized that normally when constructing roads, for example, it should have been sloped in a way whereby the water flow will go at a direction where it will not affect the neighborhood or the people around that area. But looking at the road which is constructed from Ghana Town down to Sheriff Kunda, as you said, it's sloped within the community, not to the riverside. How can we explain that we will understand whether the people around that area will not be affected by the flood in their houses?
Well, that particular road, like all other roads on the 50 kilometers, have they have the drainage system, and these drainages will be covered. Secondly, the water outfalls are properly provided, and the water channel is also provided to ensure the quick flow of water into the main Burfoot swamps. So, I mean, the problem that happened on the first day of the rain was because the drainage systems were not interconnected. But that has since been corrected, and there have never been any problem since.
Question number 19.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The process for compensation involves multi-stakeholders, including the National Road Authority, physical planning under the Ministry of Lands, the Department of Lands and Surveys, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, and our ministry. Following the completion of the designs and the identification of the required right-of-way, an assessment of the required space is carried out on site by the National Road Authority, consultants and physical planning, and a report is thus generated, which is submitted to the Department of Lands for valuation. Once the valuation exercise is completed, the owners are informed on the outcome of the exercise, and the report submitted to the client, which is the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure, and the NRA, for onward transmission to the Ministry of Finance for allocation of funds and subsequently payment.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, as at now, as we are speaking, we know the work is in progress. Are they all compensated?
No, not just as I said before, not everyone is compensated. Some are yet to be compensated because we still await the funds from the Ministry of Finance to go ahead with the payment, and others because there are perennial issues with relating to ownership of the plots. And finally, some of them, there are few others who never agree to the compensation provided by the government, so sometimes they go to court, and then we await the conclusion of some of those issues. This is about 3 or 4 property owners, not many.
Thank you. We have seen the auction. You asked too. Before we come to the chamber. Honorable Minister, yes, we have seen to read that the demolition sites, the road did not reach some of the demolition sites. Hope other people might not intrude the road again if nothing is done.
Well, we have been hearing about some few encroachments of this type of situation. But once they are brought to our attention, we also notify the physical planning, and the property owners are instructed to demolish at their own cost what they have encroached on the road. Yeah.
Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, since the people of Serekunda, Bundung, London Corner, Bundung, the Reverend J.C. Highway were very compliant during the demolition exercise. So what is the cause of the delays in their compensation?
Honorable Member, I'm not sure, because when you look at the question, the member for Central Badibu is referring to only one road, that is the main road.
Yeah. Honorable Minister, road construction is paramount to any nation building. Do your ministry have any future plans to create pathways for pedestrians and motorcycles on the OIC routes?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Yes, indeed, pedestrian access is already provided and catered for in the project.
Member for Bakau.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, when we talk of compensation, how do you determine how would you determine one's compensation packet?
Well, the compensation is contingent on a number of factors. First, including the valuation, as I mentioned in my answer, by the physical planning. And once the valuation is done, the property owners are notified that this particular number of meters or centimeters that we are taking from your property is valued at this amount. So the amounts are communicated to the property owners. Some of them may disagree, and then they resort to hiring their private valuators. But in most cases, when we do the comparison, there is either very small difference or no difference at all. Yeah.
Member for Latikuna Savage.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the floor. Honorable Minister, some property owners complain their properties are under-evaluated. Can you allow the independent evaluators to do that evaluation and compare it with your ministry, please?
Yeah, we do have some reports and complaints of undervaluation, but once that is done, I mean, we do send back the physical planning to reevaluate, and in most cases, the results are almost the same. But property owners also, in some cases, do hire their own independent valuators, and then they compare it to ours. There is a criteria, as you know, on calculations and also determination on the level of compensation. Sometimes it can depend on the location where you are, or the amount of space used, or demarcated, or demolished from your property. But in most cases, our evaluators come out with some very good results in terms of our valuations.
Nominated member Fatou Kejawara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, what are the eligibility criteria in place in terms of documentation for affected families before the compensation?
Thank you so much. A good question. For you to claim compensation, you have to show ownership. The title deed has to be in your name. If you don't have a title deed, the Alcalo paper of allocation of that property, if you don't have that alone, also the payment of rates, especially in the rural areas, in the name of the yard owner. So those things are eligibility. In case the property owner dies or the head of the family dies, then there has to be a legal document that shows that the people who are entitled to inheritance of that property agree that the claim is put in the name of either the family head that is now available, or they can open up a kind of a facility that the payment can be made into that account.
Question number 193 of 2024 by the member for Central Baribo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly whether there are plans to revive river transportation in the Gambia?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The revitalization of river transport is among the 2 priority projects identified by the government of the Gambia as part of the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Program with the United States government. The first phase of the project, which involves the preparation of feasibility studies, has since begun. It is envisaged that actual implementation will commence thereafter.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Is your ministry more willing to cooperate with the private sector or individuals who are interested, or at least, you know, they can be able to add value to the cost of river transportation in the Gambia?
Yes, we have had a number of approaches from the private sector about this particular matter. However, since the accident at sea of, I think, Lady Chilel, the ferry, or the boat in the River Gambia, there has not been any actual study in terms of the depth of the river and also obstruction along the River Gambia line. So this particular feasibility is going to do a comprehensive study of, 1, the depth of the River Gambia, and also any obstructions along the river channel, because we've been told that some vessels have drowned into the River Gambia, and also some boats also are also along the water channel, along the right of way. So this study will uncover all those things, and then they are cleared to allow river transportation system to begin. The private sector once came, I think some 2 or 3 serious investors came, but when they look at the cost involved in the study and the clearing of the waterway, we've not heard from them since, because it's a very expensive process.
Yes, thank you. Is your office, you know, aware of any dry dock being put in Basse?
Dry port? A logistic platform. Well, it's part of the Gambia Ports Authority expansion project that we have currently signed a concession. It's part of the answers that I will give in one of the questions provided here.
Member of Serekunda West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, since the revival of river transportation is high on the government's agenda, how would you explain the Senegambia Bridge as an obstruction, as one of your responses you mentioned about obstructions? How would you manage that?
Well, I have consulted my technicians on this when I resume office, and my understanding is that the depth of the River Gambia along that route is such that ocean-going vessels will not be able to reach that particular end. So any vessel below 6 meters can definitely pass under the bridge, and that is catered for.
Member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Minister, in your response, you said river transport is one of the two key priority areas for the government. And also you did respond that there are some hurdles that really surface in terms of when you did your feasibility studies. What is your ministry doing to rehabilitate the jetties along the River Gambia?
Thank you so much. The MCC program comes with this very good initiative of providing access to the riverine communities by building platforms on either side of the bank of the River Gambia. And I think our last estimation was that we were going to provide between 47 and 57. I can't remember the exact figure, but from end to end, we will provide platforms on the riverbank.
Member for Woolly East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, the survey you are talking about is very exciting. How far is it going? Is it going to stop at Basse or are we going all the way to Koina for the survey?
Well, wherever river transportation is feasible, this survey will look at all those things. But it will also look at even tourism facilities. So it's a big package that does not only limit the use of river just for transportation, but also, I mean, looking at markets along the River Gambia to ensure that there is viability for some of those agricultural projects and also commerce and trade. So it's a big, big project that involves key ministries in the government.
Thank you. A member for Brikama South, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, when are you, do you have a timeline for the feasibility study? Since the revival of river transport is a key priority, so that you can have an idea when to start. Any timeline pertaining to the feasibility study?
The process for the feasibility study has started. I mean, the proper feasibility itself is expected to complete by 2026, 2027, before we can start the actual implementation. It takes a lot of time and you have to get it right. A whole lot of things are involved in the process.
Member for Brikama North and Minority Leader.
Honorable Minister, I think you touched part of my question that the feasibility study has started and will be ended perhaps 2026, 2027. Can you give us...
May I just correct that? We are in the pre-feasibility stage, collecting the data, and then the actual feasibility will commence once the pre-feasibility studies are done. This is now putting the teams together, putting the mode of data collection, and then visiting sites to ensure, the areas that are to be reached. That's pre-feasibility. Then from there, the real feasibility study will start.
So when actually did that pre-feasibility studies start?
Feasibility has started. The actual feasibility will commence once it is within the scope of from now against 2027 that everything should be completed.
Question number 194 by the member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly why until now the Trans-Gambia Road from Jinoy to Misira village in Jara West is not having speed bumps to reduce the frequent accidents on the highway?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Trans-Gambia Highway defect liability period has since expired. We are now in the process of building the speed humps in consultation with the police and the communities, starting with the areas of high accident rates. As a temporary measure, however, concrete barriers have been placed at the Pakalindi-Mansakonko intersection and also at Sare Maudo, respectively.
The one constructed, because I received an information last week, two are in Pakalini. Was it not from your ministry?
Well, these are temporal measures. We are studying them properly because the problem, I have to say this, Honorable Minister, I mean, that particular route is an international corridor, a regional corridor. So in all, standards, you want to have quicker access to trade corridors from one end of your country to the other. Now, if every village requests a speed bump and you put a speed bump on the highway, the problem would be that first it will slow traffic and it may not also solve the intended purpose that you want. But we are working with the communities. That is why in some of the places we put barriers so that vehicles can slow down and maneuver rather than putting a permanent structure there.
Honorable Minister, I agree with you that it's an international corridor. But when you cross Karaib, the other side to Senegal, I used to use that road until when you reach around Muro or whatever, you cannot move even more than 2 kilometers without having a speed bump. So why not in our own side?
Unfortunately, I cannot answer that. I don't know what motivated the Senegalese to do that.
Well, no supplementary. Question number 20, member for Ilyasa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, speed bumps generally reduce frequent incident. How soon will your ministry have speed bumps in strategic positions?
Honorable Speaker, I have answered this question that the National Road Authority, the ministry, the police, and also the transport union have done a condition survey of some of these hotspots. The hotspots have been identified and we are working together to ensure that we bring in the remedial measures.
Question number 200 of 2024 by the member for Lower Badibu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Minister. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure inform this August Assembly whether there are still plans to construct a bridge between Banjul and Bara as pronounced by the President almost 4 years ago? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The Banjul-Bara Bridge remains a key priority for the government of the Gambia. In collaboration with ECOWAS, a feasibility study for the alignment has since been launched. The study is expected to be submitted in September 2024 to be followed by a full-blown feasibility study. It is important to note that the bridge falls along the Dakar-Abidjan corridor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the box culvert in Sangajor village is already causing damage on the left side way of the main highway, Brikama, Soma, Gambia Highway. And the water bridge has been jam-packed with sand as well. Could the Honorable Minister of Transport, Work and Infrastructure update this August Assembly about the ministry's plans to repair the box culvert? Hence, the rainy season is fast approaching and we are in it. Urgent attention is needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The inspection and cleaning of the culverts on the main highways by the National Road Authority maintenance teams is ongoing, and this particular culvert is amongst the list of culverts identified for cleaning. The work is expected to be done before the end of this month, 2024.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I visited the said area last week, and as per the 2 rains that happens, the bridge is at risk with sand. And on the other side, it is eroding and eating the main highway. And it was said last year, still the same. What urgent measures could this happen? And we all know from Soma to Brikama is a highway.
Yes.
Yes.
I can assure you that it's a big priority. The NRA is fully aware of this, and they have set the timeline for the works to be done before the end of this month. Thank you.
Question number 202 of 20. The member for Sabak Sanja.
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, to avoid let's say the frequent removal of sand within those box culverts, what plans do your ministry have to recalibrate those box culverts? Because I think that would prevent situations like the honorable member is complaining about. Recalibration of those box culverts, both from the inlet and from the outlets.
Well, that could be one option to be considered, but for immediate ease of the problem on the highway, the NRA will deploy a team there to ensure that maintenance works are done and then critical concerns raised by the communities are addressed.
The ministry has any plan to raise funds apart from national budget?
Yes, we are in constant touch with our partners, and some of them are responding positively. I told you that the World Bank has just approved 150 kilometers of roads as grant, and studies for that purpose will commence soon.
Question number 205 of 2024.
Honorable Speaker, I raise my hand.
Yes, the list is exhausted. Question number 205 of 2024 by the member for Brikama North and Minority Leader.
Thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, ever since the construction of the new Brikama-Soma Highway, residents by the highway, especially Brikama, Nyambai, Kabafita, Misra, Daru, Hairu, and Nyambai, Jambarsani are seriously affected by floods during the rainy season due to poor or no proper drainage system. The ministry had been engaged on the matter and had a study visit to the area in 2018. Could the Honorable Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure explain to this August Assembly the plan to address this long-standing drainage situation in Brikama, especially Nyambai Jar Oil Filling Station, Johnson area, Newtown Jar Oil Filling Station, Johnson area, and Nyambai Jambarsane area?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The National Disaster Management Agency, the NDMA, is in collaboration with the Brikama Area Council to clean the out drains. The agency and the council at their levels have agreed on terms of work distribution within themselves. The canteen owners have also been tasked with cleaning their respective areas.
The member for Brikama South.
Honorable Minister, I made specific attention of the ministry regarding the feasibility study that was conducted by the ministry. Now, after the feasibility study been conducted, what plan has the ministry has in order to come up with a solution as far as on the basis of the feasibility study that was conducted?
Well, the feasibility actually came out with a major observation that the drains were clogged, and also the outfall going towards Jambarsan was narrow. So yeah, last year you remember we opened that outfall, and the water was flowing easily into the streams. However, the other perennial problem was sedimentation and also dumping of waste in the drainage. We have had the opportunity to engage the communities along that line, and the businesses also that have been set up and they were also dumping their waste, cardboards and all those things on the drainage. Now they have taken the responsibility. We are working with the area council, and the area council is leading the sensitization. And I think every other 2 days, the trucks actually go there to collect the waste and then, transport it to the dump site. So that has helped us since last year. I hope this can continue again in the rainy season to avoid the floods that were encountered in 2021.
Joe has been on the podium for a little over 2 hours. On your behalf, I wish to thank him sincerely for those answers provided to this August Assembly. Honorable Minister, thank you very much. There is motion from the member for Jara Central. Can we of the committees on trade engagement in respect of the bill, methodological bill committed to them, be extended to the next session? Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. It's extended now to until next session. Clerk, we may proceed.
Questions for oral answers by the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, you may take the podium. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 159 of 2024 by the Honorable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you once again, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment inform this August Assembly what resulted in the whole of about 78 trucks of cement at the Senegambia border in the late April 2024?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Speaker, the holdup of trucks was as a result of importers of bagged cement refusing to pay the levy introduced by government as a revenue-enhancing measure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Was there any communication done before they came with those consignments to bring it to this country? Did you communicate to the vendors or the businessmen as a government?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The communication was simultaneous with the taking of the measure. As soon as the decision was made, communication was shared with the Gambia Revenue Authority. At the time, the major players in this business were not recognized or registered, did not even have any contacts with my ministry. So we did not know them. Thank you.
Are you affirming to us that all these businesses that we are affected or trucks owners that we are affected, they have nothing to do with your ministry?
Honorable Speaker, prior to the impasse, none of them had ever had any contacts with the ministry. We were not aware of their official engagement as businesses in this country. Thank you.
Member for Central Badibu.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, as a trade minister trying to promote both regional and national trade in the country, do you think that that area of increasing a levy or putting a levy is not going to bring setback to our economy?
Honorable Speaker, to the contrary, the measure itself was calculated to enhance the country's economic performance. It was well researched, well analyzed, and we found that engaging in the current steps that we have taken would benefit the country and the Gambia more than what was happening before. Thank you.
The member for Janjanbureh, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Minister, in your response, you did said the 78 trucks were withheld simply because the truck owners or the business owners failed to pay their dues. However, Honorable Minister, what influenced your decision to increase taxes over these local business owners? Thank you.
Point of order.
There is point of order from, okay, the member for Jimara.
Yes, sir. I am rising on order. Yes, 38J, Honorable Speaker. A question fully answered shall not be asked again during the same session. Honorable Minister has, clearly informed us the reason why they increased the tax on cement. Thank you.
Order sustained and the question ruled out. Member for Nyani.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, regards the 78 trucks, don't you think that the whole of those 78 trucks has increased the price of cement, especially in the rural Gambia?
Honorable Speaker, economists sometimes react differently to certain situations. In this particular case, the price of cement might have been affected during the first week of the measure as a result of some shortages in some pockets in the country. We were aware, but that was mainly because of some challenges we were facing with the distribution, resulting from reluctance by the very people who were now being asked not to go beyond the border to bring cement. So that trucking challenge created some pockets of shortages, but that was within a period of 2 weeks and it was stabilized. Currently, we have a stable industry moving on. Thank you.
Nominated member Fatou Kejawara, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, in your earlier submission, you mentioned that these particular trucks were not a registered entity with your line ministry. Can you please inform this August Assembly whether this particular supplier are been in the market for quite a long time or they started newly?
Honorable Speaker, thank you, Honorable Member. Like we said, because we had no contacts with them, I will not be in a position to tell you whether they were in the market for long or not.
Member for Lower Badibu, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, don't you think the increase might not lead to the monopoly of the industry, which might further lead to the increase of price?
Honorable Speaker, my understanding of monopoly is mono refers to a single company or industry or institution being responsible for a certain product. In the case of cement, we have 3 factories at the moment, 2 rebagging, 1 producing from scratch. And we have been consulted by several people, including some people who were in the trucking business from across the border, who are currently working with us to establish even production centers of cement in this country. So it has not been a recipe for a monopoly. We have 3 already on the ground. Thank you.
Question number 160 of 2024 by the member for Upper Salu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry and Regional Integration inform this August Assembly about the successes and the constraints registered in the implementation of the YEP project in various regions to help reduce illegal migration?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member, the Youth Empowerment Project was a project funded by the European Union, implemented by the International Trade Center in close collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, and the Ministry of Youth and Sport, highlighting its successes and the key challenges encountered over the period from 2017 to 2023. Successes registered on job creation and sustenance. I would like to report that YEP successfully created 4,292 jobs for our youth, providing them with meaningful employment opportunities. In addition, through institutional support, the project managed to sustain 3,736 jobs, ensuring that young individuals continue to contribute to the economy and support their families. On supporting and training, the project extended support to 5,888 youth across the country. These 5,888 young people benefited from entrepreneurship services and business support, fostering a culture of innovation and self-reliance. Out of this figure, 4,710 youth completed technical and vocational training programs, which equip them with the skills needed to thrive in various industries. Notably, 174 of these individuals supported are returnees who have been integrated into society through these initiatives. On entrepreneurship, Honorable Speaker, On entrepreneurship and access to finance, YEP played a pivotal role in enhancing the capacities of micro, small, and medium enterprises. A total of 1,221 MSMEs participated in market linkage activities, and 1,449 MSMEs improved their productive capacities through the YEP activities. Additionally, 394 MSMEs have been sensitized on quality improvements and food safety, aligning them with international standards and boosting their competitiveness. On sector development, the project facilitated the participation of 339 stakeholders in sector development initiatives, fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing. This collective effort was crucial in driving sectoral growth and ensuring compliance with international standards. On pandemic mitigation, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, YEP distributed 3,245 pandemic-related supplies and benefited 175,295 people through disease prevention and socioeconomic mitigation measures. These efforts have been instrumental in safeguarding the health and well-being of our youth and their communities. On outreach and advocacy, YEP's outreach campaigns reached approximately 362,877 people, promoting economic opportunities as alternatives to irregular migration. This extensive advocacy has raised awareness and encouraged youth to explore viable economic pathways within the Gambia. Challenges encountered in the implementation of the project. Resource allocation. One of the primary challenges has been balancing budget constraints while maintaining the quality and scope of activities. Ensuring extended funding for all planned initiatives and responding to emerging needs required careful financial management. 2 is stakeholder engagement. Effective communication among various stakeholders, including government ministries, private sector partners, and local communities was critical. Coordinating efforts across different regions and sectors to maintain a cohesive approach also posed challenges, necessitating continuous engagement and collaboration. on pandemic impact, the socio-economic efforts of COVID-19 pandemic pose significant challenges. Adjusting program activities to comply with health and safety protocols, which sometimes limited in-person interactions and training sessions, required flexibility and innovation. Despite these challenges, the Youth Empowerment Project made remarkable strides in empowering our youth, enhancing their employability and fostering entrepreneurship across the Gambia, with support from over 45 national implementing partners who were empowered to deliver the project programs and activities. The project continues to adapt and evolve, ensuring that the needs of our youth and broader communities are met effectively. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for that elaborative answer. Now, what is the next step that the Minister is going to take to ensure sustainability and also to measure impact on the youth of the country?
Thank you very much. We continue, Honorable Speaker, to work with the International Trade Center and other partners, UNIDO, UNCDTA, to ensure we have a successful project and even the EU, to ensure we have a successful project that continues to support youth engagement in entrepreneurship and other activities within the business environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Have your ministry done any study to actually check on those that were impacted by this project? How far have they done? Have you seen results, or you have seen retrogression? What exactly was the impact that some of the youth were assisted during this project?
Honorable Speaker, at the moment, we can only speak anecdotally. We've tried to do a tracer survey, is what you call it. Unfortunately, the constraints that keep recurring, but we are hoping that with the ICT, we will collaborate in this area and do a real scientific study to continue monitoring the impact of this on our youth. But anecdotally, we are satisfied because we had already established relationship with them. We know them, we know where they are. We can go out there and see what they are doing, but it's not a scientifically studied one. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Speaker. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on there? Thank you. The member for Central Badibu, you have the floor.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, can you help us with the data, like these youths that have been supported regionally? Can you supply us with the data of a list?
Honorable Speaker, I have taken note and we will try to share the data with the Assembly. Thank you.
Member for Janjambure, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, we cannot really dispute the support that the EU has rendered for the people of the Gambia, more especially through the Youth Empowerment Project, because I was one time a beneficiary through a youth structure I work with. However, in your response, you talked about sustenance, and also you said about 5,888 young people were supported on entrepreneurship or to establish their own businesses. My question is, do your ministry have a data to indicate if these young entrepreneurs with their entities still continue to exist in their respective areas?
Honorable Speaker, my answer will be very similar to the one I gave earlier, that this data is raw as we have it. We have not done any scientific follow-up tracer survey to follow those people who benefited, like the honorable member here himself, to see what the impact continues to be on your life. But we are working with the ICT at another level, and we hope we'll be able to do this tracer survey and share with the Assembly in due course. Thank you.
Member for Sanementre.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, considering the inclusivity of the training on the entrepreneurs. Could you kindly furnish this August Assembly the female youth who took part in this training? Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, when we share with you the data on all the figures I've given, they will be disaggregated and the female participation will be clear. Thank you.
The member for Banjul North.
Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, whenever the member for Janjabure speak before me, he always asks my question.
Well, you need to warn him. If not, make sure that there are guardmen denying him entering Banjul. The member for Lower Badibu, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I have never raised my tag on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you. That must have been an omission from my team. Thank you. Question number 161. Please. Question number 161 of 2024 by the member for Opasalo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry and Regional Integration explain to this August Assembly why there exists only few manufacturing industries in the Gambia and what efforts the ministry is undertaking to reverse this trend so as to increase exports and domestic consumption of local products?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much, Honorable Member. The Gambia's manufacturing sector has a very small base, focusing mainly on production for the domestic market and utilizing a limited range of skills and technologies. Albeit, there are significant opportunities which could be exploited by the manufacturing sector based on the import substitution opportunities, which are clear from the substantial imports of manufactured goods and processed foods for the tourist and national populations, and on the regional market with established distribution channels developed through the existing re-export business. However, much needs to be done to promote the manufacturing sector in the Gambia. In the past, the government concentrated on the promotion of the services sector to catalyze national development, and this led to limited investment in the manufacturing sector. In addition, the size of the market and the cost of manufacturing, including high cost of electricity, was a disincentive to investment in the sector. The high cost of production led to closure of some manufacturing units in the country. However, we are happy to report that this trend is changing positively as we are seeing more investment flows into the manufacturing sector, as recently indicated by the UNCTAD World Investment Report of 2023, which is currently in circulation. Over half of all special investment certificates issued by the government to foreigners since 2017 were for projects in manufacturing, with an average planned value of 4.2 million. Agriculture was the second most sought after sector, with an average planned investment value of 12.9 million. This is as a result of improvements in infrastructure and the increase in confidence in the economy because of political stability and improvements in macroeconomic policy management. In addition, the gradual opening of the regional and continental market is giving hope to potential investors to invest in the economy with high expectation of accessing those markets. Furthermore, there is an increased recommitment on the part of government, demonstrated amply by the recent visit to industries by His Excellency the President of the Republic, to promote industrial development as a key strategy for structural transformation of the Gambia's economy. In view of this, the ministry, with the support of African Development Bank and the EIF, has been working on a project called Green Industrialization through Special Economic Zones and Agropoles along Senegambia Bridge Corridor and selected agricultural growth centers. The objective of this project is to enhance industrial transformation agricultural productivity, and food security and expand the Gambia's export base. The ministry is also considering the establishment of an organized industrial estate around URR for ease of access to the ECOWAS market. All these initiatives are part of the Gambia's UNIDO country program signed by the government of the Gambia and UNIDO in 2021. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for the comprehensive answer. But in terms of policies, also market service, access to markets, or collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture, particularly in the area of fisheries, what exactly is the ministry trying to do in that particular area, specifically the fisheries industry?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The blue economy, which is basically what happens in the ocean, again has been one area we as a country are currently looking seriously at, not only at the ministry, but in collaboration with the Ministry of Fisheries. We have started talking about this recently. In fact, as recent as last week, there was a convergence in Tanzania with the minister responsible for maritime agencies attended. Honorable Silla was at this meeting. The discussion was around the blue economy, and we are very much, as a country, committed to exploiting what resources the ocean has to offer the country. And this will not only be exploiting, but what value we add through these agropoles that we are talking about in order to package this, whatever we get from the ocean, we process them, keep the jobs here, send the processed food abroad to generate more revenue through our exports. So we are looking at this space, and surely we'll be posted on this as the National Assembly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, it was part of the campaign promises for the coalition 2016 that they are going to come up with many manufacturing industries for the Gambia. Now, what are the local products that this manufacturing industry you speak of? What kind of local products are they going to process generally?
Honorable Speaker, the question, if I understand it, is what manufacturing, what local manufacturing this country has to offer. Currently, we are, if I can give it to you in two categories, we are currently doing a lot of value addition with food, our cereals. We are not only consuming all of it here, we are even exporting a lot of that, and we want to see that increase. And that's one of the reasons this government is paying attention to our relationship with the United States along the AGOA. That is, no, unless you don't want, yeah, okay.
No, Minister, Honorable Minister.
Yes, please.
Honorable Minister, please always address the speaker and do not respond to their side talks.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The point I was making, honorable members, is that we are adding value to our cereals at the moment. Local manufacturing is so extensive. I can tell you we have more than 30 companies in this country. Some of them have closed as I speak, but they have been in manufacturing. They have been given licenses to even export what they were manufacturing. I was focusing on food just to say the basics, to show that this country has a lot of things to do with the products that are coming from the Ministry of Agriculture. The second level of the answer was going to be what we intend to do. This country, we are talking about revenue. For years, our groundnut has not been going to the markets we targeted, which are the EU market and now the Chinese market. A report was given here some time ago that the Chinese are now taking 98% of our products, particularly agricultural products, duty-free, quarter-free. So all these are areas we can do a lot and process and export. Sorry, sir.
Honorable Minister, you should always summarize your supplementary answers. Very
Thank you.
short. There should not be more than 2 minutes. The member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, from the recently concluded OIC summit, can you give us a brief highlight about the manufacturers or the industrial investment forums that you've engaged on?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member for Kiang West, the investment forum we organized was general. It was for all investors that were interested in investing in the Gambia. There was no specific focus on any of the industries. So all of them, from the services to the production value, all of them were involved. Thank you.
Member for Serekunda, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Could the Honorable Minister tell this August Assembly what kind of support is given to the manufacturing industries in the Gambia by the government? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We, as a ministry, as government, we provide them a lot of support in terms of tax breaks, holidays. It depends on the industry and what they are asking for, what government priorities are. But what specifically they enjoy is the special investment certificate, which is the SIC, which my ministry recommends and endorses for those who want to invest hugely in the economy and create jobs. Thank you.
The member for Lower Badibo.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you said there are plans of reviving manufacturing industries in the Gambia. My question to you is whether there are plans to revive cotton ginnery industry in Basi. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, that will be for the Ministry of Agriculture. Thank you very much, to decide whether that one should be revived or not. Thank you very much.
Member for Fonyi Brefet, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As an entrepreneur who really love food processing, value addition is very important. Honorable Minister, do you have any plan to help the youths who are embarking on food processing in order to provide machines? Because these are the main problems they complain, processing materials.
Honorable Speaker, we have been doing that in the past and we continue to prioritize that. We hope those youths that are interested in food processing liaise with the ministry through the normal channels, and that when supplier support is available, we can share with them. Thank you.
Thank you. Section number 162 of 2024 by the member for Jara Central.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment shed light on the economic trade policies of the ministry with regards to the growth and protection of local manufacturing industries in the Gambia? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member for Jara Central. As mentioned previously, the Gambia has a multitude of policies and strategies on trade and industry related to topics including gender, trade itself, exports, agriculture, fisheries, energy, MSMEs, and an overall national development plan. These policies and strategies contain in-depth analysis of the current situation faced by each of the sectors they relate to and propose good policy and strategic advice. However, in the main, these policies and strategies are not fully implemented, or at least implemented partially, which means that the full effect of the policy or strategy is not realized. This is because of the following reasons. Most of the policies and strategies contain recommended actions, some of which are very general and will take years to implement. Number two, there are no budgetary allocations to implement the proposed policies or strategies, and changes on cash allocations from MOFA are always insufficient to implement some of these policy priorities. And lastly, but not the least, lobbying against government policies, which could be strange to some of us. Individuals and associations that feel threatened by the impact of these policies, like in the case of the cement, in short run, always oppose such policy changes. And this is why we have so many questions on cement importation at the moment. However, the government of the Gambia recognizes the importance of private sector development for inclusive growth and reducing poverty through manufacturing, employment creation and trade, and is committed to creating the right conditions for a private sector-led economy. The long-term aspiration is to increase the industrial sector's contribution to the GDP from 11% to between 25 and 30%. In recent times, we took initiatives to strengthen the performance of existing sectors so that Gambian businesses can access markets where we have preferential market access, as well as devise strategies to support new sectors, and for each identified product, assess whether the public sector can assist to remove their trade barriers directly or indirectly. Thank you.
No further supplementary question.
Member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Minister, in your response, you highlighted the issue of cement importation. Are you aware of the challenges in the cement importation currently? If you are, what are your ministry doing about this?
What? Well, wait, Mr. Wade. He's talking about...
Honorable Minister, your response to the question did indicate challenges with regards to insufficient budget allocations from the Ministry of Finance and competing with government policies as witnessed in the case of the cement. Honorable Minister, did your ministry have any success stories with regards to growth from the manufacturing industries and their protection emanating from the ministerial policies?
I'm not sure Honorable Speaker, I'm not sure I understand the gist of the question. Sorry.
I can repeat. What I'm simply trying to say is, your response focused more on the challenges. One, that the Ministry of Trade couldn't embark on most of the policy reforms due to constraints in budgetary allocation from the Ministry of Finance, and that you do have a lot of competition from the private sector whenever you want to come up with what? Reforms. So I'm saying the House will also be interested if at all your ministry did really have any success stories which were born out of the policies which you are implementing.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, the Honorable Member, for very important question. Yes, budgetary allocations come in, and we also at our level prioritize. This should be a priority for the ministry. But remember, the ministry has various issues to take care of. This is a supplementary question, 2 minutes. I can give a succinct answer in relation to the cement crisis that was around and still around. When government came with the policy to enhance revenue through charges, extra charges on cement that is bagged and brought into the country because we were not getting anything out of it, there was a campaign mounted locally and even beyond the borders, and it's still on, to stop the policy from rolling out. But I can tell you a success story in relation to that particular one. When we bring a vessel of powdered cement and do the bagging here, In addition to keeping the jobs here, in addition to paying NAWEC 1.3 million to rebag a vessel of 35,000 metric tons, 1.3 million goes to NAWEC. GMA gets $1 million. The company that brings the powdered cement pays to GRA and Ports Authority something in the region of 25 to 30 million per vessel. You cannot get that in the whole year. According to the statistics in Asikuda, the whole of 2023, the total that was received from bagged cement across the border was 26 million. So one vessel is equivalent what the whole year GRA received, ports received from bagged cement crossing the border. So which one is more economically viable? Which one is the Gambia government going to go with? We will bring the vessels. Thank you.
Member for Sabasanyal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you for that swift response. It has really raised concerns to the members of the public that that policy is affecting employment. What comparison will you give as far as the creation of employment is concerned? Because many people say that the policy implementation has deterred many people from their jobs. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member. The jobs that we are protecting are not in this country if we are bringing bagged cement. The jobs are across the border. Our research has confirmed that some of the companies that we are involved in the trade, we are not even registered in this country. They would load their trucks from across the border, drive to the country, transfer them to a Gambian truck. That truck comes to Serekunda, parks at a junction, would not hire a shop, would not hire anybody. Even the offloaders, they come with them from across the border. They sell their cement at a junction. In the night, they go back and pick another 1,000 bags of cement. So these companies, we are not registered. There is no company. You can go contact the regional, the register of companies. None of them was registered as a company in this country. So the employment being shouted about was created in another country, unlike what is happening now. If you go to these three factories, they have a cumulative total staff of nothing less than 500. But that is the direct jobs. The indirect jobs are more than that. So for us, jobs are being created locally if you do the rebagging here, not to even talk about the production at Salam factory. Thank you.
Minister, in the process of implementing government trade policies, you did mention that you came across of some challenges, more especially from some of the local business owners. Do you think these policies that you are implementing, for example, in your response, like the policy to increase tax on cement importation and also the policy for stickers, do you think this policy would go in any way to help local entities to flourish?
Honorable Speaker, thank you. I think the second question is not for me. The stickers is not the Ministry of Trade. The Ministry of Finance will be in a position to answer that question. The issue of whether our policies will kill Gambian businesses, we are very sensitive to that. In fact, we are more inclined to supporting local businesses to flourish. But when you are faced with a decision, you look at the wider picture, you look at the broader benefits to the country. And if we look at all this, we are looking at the economic performance of the country. We want to build roads, we want to build schools, we want to train our people to degree level. All this expenditure on government requires that we generate revenue. But to tell you in the 2 minutes that I have got to do with this, our greater objective is a bigger market. And this is why we are engaging to ensure we are able to have a common market with our neighbors so that we can even sell beyond. But these measures are necessary given the position the Gambia's economy finds itself. We cannot generate money enough to do what we want to do if we are not going to have revenue measures like the one we have taken. So our objective is not to strangle businesses. We will want to support them. Thank you.
Member for Woolly East.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker,
you may proceed.
Questions for all, by the Honorable Minister for Justice and Attorney General.
Thank you. The Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, you may take the podium. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 126 of 2024 by the member for Nyamina Dankuku.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice tell this August Assembly the validity and the authenticity of the registration of Creed Energy and Apogee FZC to conduct petroleum business in the Gambia?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable Member of Parliament, for the question regarding the registration of Creed Energy and Apogee FZC to conduct petroleum business in the Gambia. As the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, I can provide information on the legal status of organizations as registered by the Registrar of Companies under my ministry. I can confirm that Creed Energy Limited and Apogee FZC are indeed registered as legal entities under the Register of Companies, and in accordance with our laws, they have fulfilled the necessary requirements to be recognized as legitimate organizations. I have attached as appendix to my...
Speaker, let the minister speak to his mic very well.
I have attached as appendix to my letter to the Office of the Clerk evidence of this. However, regarding the authorization to conduct petroleum business specifically, this falls under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy. They are better placed to provide information on whether Creed Energy and Apogee FZC are licensed to engage in petroleum activities in the Gambia. I recommend that the Member of Parliament directs inquiries regarding their licensing status for petroleum business to the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy for a comprehensive response. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. No further question, but I would need that the legal requirement. Yeah.
Member for Latikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, thank you for your response. I want to inquire whether the Register of Companies has no further business with companies that are registered under him, that is to look at their business status, because they must file in a certain business requirement year in, year out. Thank you.
Yes, in registering a company, you file, there are documents you file. Key among them is the Memorandum and Articles of Association. And in those documents, you state the intent. What is the object of your business? And these two companies that have been asked about all indicated in their objects that they are intending to operate and do trade in the petroleum industry. But we only register them and give them a birth certificate, if you understand what I'm saying, for them to exist. Once they exist, the sector in which they want to do business, that sector, the regulatory authorities in that sector are in charge of whether they will license them or not and what they are doing in that sector. We are only in charge of their creation. Once they are created, then they move to the sector where they intend to operate business, and that sector have its own regulatory regime, and they decide on the licensing.
Question number 127 of 2024 by the member for Brikama North and Minority Leader.
Well, it appears They are related question, and the minister can guide. Honorable Speaker, could the Attorney General and Minister for Justice confirm to this August Assembly whether the Grid Energy Limited and Ultimate Bridge Logistic Companies have been properly licensed to trade petroleum products in the Gambia, and if so, provide the relevant documents to that effect?
Honorable Speaker, if your rules allow it, I would just say the answer is exactly the same as the previous answer. But if I would read it, I would read exactly the same answer.
Yes, it's the same question.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, there's point of order. Huh?
I have supplementary.
Supplementary on...
With regards to my leader's question. Hi.
Clerk, we may proceed. Clerk, we may proceed, please. Clerk.
Questions for oral answers by the Honorable Minister for Defense.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Defense, please take the podium. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Defense by honorable members for oral reply. Question number 232 of 2024 by the member for Fonyi Jaro. I'm informed that the honorable member for Fonyi Councillor will read on his behalf.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Honorable Minister of Defense inform this August Assembly why the ministry has failed to implement a court ruling to reinstate a competent Umar Sajo, to reinstate and compensate Umar Sajo, a junior soldier who was wrongfully terminated? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and honorable members of this August Assembly. The court order in question was not served on the ministry. My ministry only received the court order recently, and it was since then forwarded to the Ministry of Justice for legal advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, this was a ruling by the High Court that the said soldiers should be reinstated forthwith. A letter from the, after follow-up, the lawyer of the said applicant wrote to the Minister of Defense after successful written.
Honorable member, please ask your supplementary question.
Yes, upon all this court order, what role does the Minister of Defense have to resist the court order and the compensation of the said Omar Sajo?
I remember, like I said, the ministry did not receive the court order in the first place. We just received it recently, and we have forwarded it to the Ministry of Justice for legal advice.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, a court ruling that was done in 2021-2022. What must have been the delays of not receiving this to your ministry? Thank you.
Thank you. I have no answers for that.
Member for Janjambure.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, reflecting on the GAF Act, Section 33(1)A, and also reflecting on the 1997 Constitution, on section 169(1)(a. Don't you think your decision to sack this young soldier is not in contrary to the laws? Thank you.
Honorable member for Janjamure, it looks like you are asking a legal opinion from the Honorable Minister for Defense.
I'm not asking for a legal opinion, Honorable Speaker. He did respond that he received a legal notification.
No, you are asking, you directing him to the GAF Act and the constitutional provision, and you say whether what he thinks about it. You are seeking his personal opinion on a legal matter.
Not his personal.
No, it is.
His ministry. Because the act was guided by the GAF Act.
No, honorable members, supplementary questions is to be guided by the rule of procedures and not also as well as personal opinion. And in fact, you are asking his personal opinion on constitutional provisions and also the act of the Gambian forces.
Honorable Speaker, with all due respect, I never asked him his personal opinion.
It looks like you have some...
Honorable Speaker.
No, please take your seat. Can you please repeat your question?
You want me to repeat it? And it follows. Considering the provision in the GAF Act, which is section 33(1), and also reflecting on the 1997 Constitution on section 169(1)(a, don't you think your ministry's decision to sack the young soldier was not in contrary to the 1997 Constitution?
Point of order.
There is point of order from the member for Sabastanja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm rising on point on order 38 G. A question shall not be asked for the purpose of obtaining an expression of opinion. If the honorable member is asking the member whether he thinks, I think that's an expression of opinion. Thank you.
Thank you. Order sustained. And his question is not within the docket of the defense minister. He's asking a legal opinion. And the Attorney General and Minister for Justice is the competent.
Honorable Speaker, observation.
You are out of order.
Observation.
No. Please. Member for Busumbala, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, if my memory can serve me well, this matter was before this very parliament. And what you did inform this August Assembly is that you guys are in receipt of this ruling and it has been referred to your legal team for review. And now today, you are telling us that you just receive it and send it to Attorney General's chambers for advice. Which one do you believe or do you want the Assembly to take?
Thank you. Honorable Member, I think that was not exactly what I said the last time. I said we receive a legal opinion from GAF. But then that does not mean that the court order was served on the ministry. We're only receiving it now from GAF to the ministry. And what we have done was to forward it to justice for an advice.
What specifically are you requesting from the Ministry of Justice?
Well, a straightforward legal opinion from the Justice Ministry.
The member for Latikunda Sabeji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, we want you to make a frank and full disclosure. Because one thing I know, the case was prosecuted by the AG Chamber.
Point of order, point of order. Please ask your question, please.
There is point of order. There is.
No, sit down. Honorable, sit down. I am on my feet.
There is point of order from the member for Jimara.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I am still rising on order 38-2. Yes.
In most cases, court orders should be executed. Why do you send to AE Chambers to advise you legally on a court order? Thank you very much.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Point of order.
There is point of order by nominated member Fatuke Jawara.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I'm rising on order 32.
Court's rule for Umar Sajo to be reinstated. What is the dealing darling about?
Honourable Minister, please respond.
Thank you. I just want to inform the honorable member that the Ministry of Defense and the Gambia Armed Forces will execute the orders that are coming from the courts. What I have just said is that we just received, just recently, the court order from the Chief of Defense Staff's office, and we have now submitted it to the Ministry of Justice for an advice.
Question number 233 of 2024 by the member for Foni Jaro. I hate creating precedents because I allow the minority leader, so I will allow you.
Speaker.
Question number 233 of 2024 by the member for Foni Jaro.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think we are left at the dark. Honorable Speaker, could the Minister of Defense update this August Assembly on the investigation going on with the regard to the killing of Dua Baji, a native of Jilamfare village in Fonyi Bintang Karana, in the month of December 2024, who is believed to have been killed by the Senegalese soldiers posted at the border village of Jilamfare. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member, unfortunately, I do not have any updates on this subject matter. But with regards to the investigation, I think the Gambia Police Force and the Ministry of Interior are in a better position to comment on this matter.
Honorable Minister, on the 1st of January 2024, members of the 5 Fonyi NAMs and the Security Council are joined.
Honorable Member, ask your supplementary question.
Yes, on the 1st of January, you've agreed with us that a forthwith investigation will be commenced with your ministry and other line ministries. How far is that?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Like you have said, it was myself who led that team. But what I am saying is that regarding the investigation, I think the Ministry of Interior and the police can have a better comment on that investigation.
As the Minister of Defense, these are soldiers from your counterpart, and which you're the Minister of Defense. Why would you delegate a defense investigation to the Interior?
My responsibility is just that I am in charge of the Gambia Armed Forces and not the other forces on the other side. And I think it is the police that are responsible to conduct this investigation. Thank you.
Nominated member Fatou K. Jawara, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. It's rather unfortunate that I cannot proceed with my question because we have an engagement with the security officers at our Defense and Security Committee meeting. And they clearly spelled out where this man was shot, what time, so nobody can mislead this House. Thank you.
Member for Janjamure, you have the floor. Member for Janjamure.
I think a different tag was raised, but not Janjamure, please.
Thank you. The member for Talinding Kunjang.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes, your ministry, the event happened within your ministry. When the Honorable Minister receives the parliamentary questions, don't you see it important to consult the Ministry of Interior responsible for the investigation so that you can adequately inform the Parliament?
Well, I think that is within the work of the Ministry of Interior, and I think they know exactly what to do. Thank you.
Member for Central Baribu.
Thank you. I think the response from the minister, because I also have a similar case of Siaka Jata, who was murdered, and not Siaka Fatajo, who was missing in Fonyi. So, but as you said, the right ministry is Ministry of Interior. We want to know the Badibunkas, we want to know the death of or the demise of that man in Fonyi.
No, that is out of order. The member for Sanementre.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, you had an interaction with the 5 NAMs of Fonyi, conducting a survey or an investigation within the area. And now that you're informing them that the responsibility lies on the Minister of Interior to do the investigation, why didn't you tell them that since at the initial stage up till today? Thank you.
Honorable member, what are you telling us that the 5 NAMs were investigating this? No, you said the 5 NAMs were investigating, and now why is he telling us that the Minister of Interior is investigating?
Honorable Speaker, maybe you did not understand me. I said, or maybe there was a slip of the tongue. I said
that is not the slip of the tongue.
He had an engagement with the 5 NAMs.
Honorable member, your tongue was never slipping.
So am I lying or what?
No.
I'm asking.
No.
No, I am asking, am I lying or what?
I am not saying you are lying.
No, I'm just asking you, am I lying or what? Honorable Speaker, with all due respect.
I'm going to switch off your mic.
Well, you can do so.
What I am saying is, you say there was investigation panel by the 5. You said, Honorable, you are on record to have said the 5 NAMs from Fonyi were on an investigation on the matter. Yeah, that's what you said, the investigation. And now the minister is telling us the Interior is investigating. That's what you are telling us. I am asking you, which is which? Okay, then please go ahead and ask a question. I will give you an opportunity, but it was a last opportunity.
Honorable Speaker, you said earlier that you had an engagement with the 5 NAMs of Fonyi, and which they have also confirmed as well. But what prevents you from informing them that the investigation lies on the Minister of Interior? Thank you.
Thank you. Perhaps you should know the type of engagement that I had done with the 5 NAMs members. I led a team to go and assess the security situation in the Fonyi region. And then the 5 National Assembly members from Fonyi happens to join my delegation in that tour. It was not meant for any investigation. And then when we got to Fonyi Jilamfari, we were informed that a day before our visit, the incident happened. So we didn't know what actually happened. But when we came from the tour, immediately we summoned the Senegalese embassy on this matter, and then we raised our concerns for them to transmit our concerns to their capital. And that we were expecting to get a report leading to the demise of that Dua Baji. Thank you. Well, I don't know.
Honorable Minister, please don't answer to the side talks. Member for...
No, it's very important.
Honorable members, please order. Member for lawful order. Honorable Minister, when they are asking questions to the back door, don't respond. Yes. The member for Woolly East, you have the floor. Question number 234 of 2024 by the member for Fonyi Jaro.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, could the Minister of Defense update this August Assembly on the long-awaited investigation report of the killing of Aruna Jatta of Kanilai, who was believed to be murdered by the Senegalese soldiers while taking part in a peaceful demonstration? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The incident that claimed the life of the late Haruna Jatta was not investigated by my ministry. The Interior Ministry, which is the lead agency in internal security, is better placed to comment on this matter. I rather urge the Honorable Member to redirect his question to the Ministry of Interior and the Gambia Police Force. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question number 235 of 2024 by the member for Fonyi Councillor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, could the Minister of Defense update this August Assembly on the ongoing investigation for more than 6 months now about the alleged theft that occurred at the 4th Infantry Battalion on the 28th of September 2023 in the house of the former President Yahya Ejeje Jammeh in Kanilai, resulting to the loss of 1 big mattress, 9 or 1 medium-sized television screens, 2 washing machines, 3 deep freezers, 10 dining chairs, and all VIP suit codes, even though the residence is now a military barracks with guards on both sides of the compound. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The board has already concluded its investigations proposed to the alleged theft in Kanilai, and they have submitted their report to the Office of the Chief of Defense Staff. But the ministry is yet to receive this investigation report. Once it is received, it will be shared with this August Assembly. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Fonyi Bintankarana.
When will will we have this submission here, Honorable Minister?
As soon as I get the report, we'll do the needful.
Kiang West.
Honorable Minister, why do you constantly and consistently
refused to give clear answer to members' questions.
Point of order. Point of order.
That is not a question.
Very good.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, point of order from Foni Bintankrane.
Honorable Speaker, I rise on point of order 36-7. A question must be clear. A question must be answered as clearly and as fully as possible. I am telling you that the question was not properly answered. And I asked about time. When is time? And the minister did not answer my question.
Thank you. A question being fully answered and clearly or not depends on the provider of the questions and to those who are of the answers and those receiving the answers. Therefore, it will be a matter of subjective. And a questions fully or clearly answered may be deemed to be answered to X, while Z, because you don't have the type of answer you want, you may clearly or seemingly believe that it is not fully answered. So once a question is posed and a minister responds, it is deemed to be answered. If that is why members have the opportunity for supplementary question, the one posing the question have two supplementary questions to ask for the provider of the answers, either the minister.
Want the Honorable Minister to confirm to this August Assembly whether claims by the Honorable Fofoni Councillor mentioned here for the lost goods and materials are factual, and if so, what measures is the government and your ministry doing so that valuable goods in that premises that will be of good use for the nation are not missing again before you get to the investigation? Thank you.
Honorable member, the minister cannot confirm that here. He have told you that investigations are ongoing, and you want him to confirm that whether it is true or not? No, you cannot just answer that. How many questions have Janjambure? Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I think the story remains the same. Last March, when we were here, it was the same question we asked. And from your response, you said investigations has concluded as per the matter. What would be the next point of call by your ministry?
Thank you. When I was here last March, I said that the investigation is ongoing. Now I am telling you that it has been concluded and the report has been submitted to the office of the CDS. The ministry is yet to receive the orders, the board reports, and once it is received, it will be submitted to this August Assembly. That's what I have said.
Nominated member Kebalang Fofana.
Honorable Speaker, in the minister's response, he did indicate that investigations are going, which confirms that indeed there was an unlawful activity. So my question to the minister would be, what measures are you taking to ensure that that property is safeguarded?
Thank you, Honorable Member. I would kindly seek the kind indulgence of the Honorable Member to wait until we know the content of the report. For now, I cannot say anything.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister for Defense, for those answers provided to this August Assembly. You may go now. Clerk, you may proceed.
Questions for oral answers by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs.
Thank you. The Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs, you may take the podium. Questions for which due notices were given to the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs by honorable members for oral reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Who? Please wait. I didn't give you the floor.
Motion, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, there is a motion by the member for Serekunda.
53, I'm rising on 53K for the Assembly to stand down for a break for lunch and prayers. Thank you.
Any seconder? Member for Lower Full.
Thank you. I seconded the motion. Is convenient, I think.
It has been moved and seconded that this assembly observe prayer and lunch break. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Ku yoddu sa xat te quality jas na ñoo yor seen cumbukaay tur day uyu borom jas na pire soo ko bëggee fii si biir Gambia bi dawal foofu sa quality jas na your number one stop shop. Ana sama jigéen ñi dama bëgg ngeen jox ma seen nopp garme yi ndaxte quality jas na amal nañ leen ay til yu toj daala poos abaaya yu yiiw waaye it amal nañ leen ay boreda yu rafet boreda yoo xam ne pour góor ñi la ak pour jigéen ñi amal nañ leen body scrub yi nga xam ne nii dafay defar seen yaram bam nice waaye it fàttewuñ fa diw yi ana sama jeeg yu pare yi quality jas na amal nañ leen fa andi cuuraay yu neex house spray ak bépp xeetu baax pour seen biir néeg dama ne atum ren jii ku sa jëkkër mere ku ne yow la neex ndaxte quality jas na ñëw na si dëkk bi pour defar sëy yi makeup artist yi bàyyi leen gannaaw ñu ngi leen fa amal ay makeup product yu quality waxu leen léegi nii foofa sa Westfield jàkkaarloog monument bi wala nga jokkoo quality jas na si 250 01 24